And hello, and welcome everyone to the Comic Multiverse, where the worlds of nerd meet. We're your favorite comic book podcast, the one that's not going to choke you on the streets of Reykjavik, and we never will, even if we thought about it.
Even if you ask, we won't.
Even if you ask, we won't do it because consent is important to us, but choking is not our thing. Or maybe it is. You don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know how you been, Matt. How has this week under quarantine treated you?
Pretty good, pretty good. I'm like in semi quarantine since I'm still working. It's funny because like I've been telling people that this quarantine has been like a blessing to me because I've been working more than I ever have before. Like
It's a real feast or famine to people in certain industries. That's why we're doing this Monday night instead of Sunday night. But hey, at least on the upside, we knew all our friends would be around. Where else are you gonna be?
exactly.
You ain't gonna be on the streets, unfortunately. Not for a little bit at least. Well, the big Rona's going around. The big old Rona. I got a bunch of work done this week. I made my way through most of my comic reviews from 2 weeks ago. I'm going to be getting to the point now where I'm going to have to start putting out more interesting, from scratch work, like the first episode of Comic Book Would You Rather, our sister podcast. Thank you, everyone who got a chance to watch and listen to that. Much appreciated.
Yeah. No, I like you. I've been doing my comic reviews. I've been kind of rationing them out as well. I'm trying to work
Yep,
out
same.
like how many I've got left to cover like at least this month because we're not getting any new comics for at least a month.
Yeah, thank God. What is it? Harley Quinn came back
Hmm.
on television, well, on app. A month after season one ended. Because boy, that was good for my channel, and I loved being able to have that content. Also, thank God for that Batman digital series, which we were all
Yeah.
super excited for anyway.
Yeah, no, I wasn't. I knew that was coming out, but they mentioned like all the comics weren't coming out digitally, and I assumed it might mean that as well, even though that was strictly digital. But it came out, and it was great.
hmm Just what we needed. And again, if you look at the sales charts for it, it was that at number one, which it probably wouldn't have gotten number one were it not for everything else getting delayed. And X-Men number 9 from the week before right under it, which made me think, wow, how big is X-Men? And also good for you, Paul Dini and Kevin Altieri. I'm glad you guys got to have the number one comic.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, even if that Batman comic wasn't number one, the ongoing Batman would have been number one because that was the first Punchline issue.
Oh yes, the big, much appreciated punchline issue.
Yeah, that has
Much
$50
touted.
variants
Oh,
and whatnot. That all got probably cancelled.
Lich Lord Chris just complimented my shirt. Yes, you can get this on the Cape Joel T Public store right now. Yes, I wear my own merch. It's a pajama shirt. I've been in my pajamas all day and didn't bother to change for the show. So sue me. You don't even know if I'm wearing pants right now, and you'll never know. Let that be the mystery that lasts you forever. And also, Mr. Patterson there caught the show live for the first time. So, hey, cheers to you. Glad you could make it. Always nice when that can happen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, man, it's funny. With all the free time I've had, we're talking about how we're working our way through our videos, thinking of videos we're gonna have to make next week when the time is off. I'm really getting almost like Uncle Scroogey to all these people who are like, oh, I've run out of shows to binge and everything, and like, oh, what am I gonna do with all this free time? Man, I wish I had free time. We still have to work as YouTubers. It's a hell of a thing.
Yeah, it is, but as well as like I've kind of seen a little bit of an uptick as well, especially because I obviously been putting out comic reviews that are like weeks old at the moment, and usually I get people complaining about that because it's not
Same.
new. And I did say people would complain why there aren't new comic reviews on my channel, and I got those comments, and I told you
I did
all,
not.
I told you all. But yeah, no, I've seen an uptick with people actually liking it.
Yeah, that's I noticed that too this week as well. I was looking at my phone. I wasn't ignoring you, Matt. I actually had a list of shows I planned to binge that I either never got to finish or got to the halfway point and had to stop.
Hmm.
Ray Donovan from this season, I got to finish.
Yeah,
I'm
I got to
watching
do
that.
that as well.
it ended up being the last season, so now's the time to do it. I'm watching that show with someone, which makes actually getting around to watch it difficult because I got to be like, okay, how are we gonna watch this together? The Witcher that I never finished.
Oh, you never finished it.
I never finished The Witcher. I know, right? That's probably the one I'm gonna try and watch first because I can watch that one on my own.
Mm-hmm.
I need to catch up on Batwoman because again, I watched the first couple episodes and then fell off because of Crisis and everything. And also, thank you, Mr. Patterson. There, I just saw there for the subscription.
A bunch of people actually just subscribed. I think there was just like a little bit of a lag in the stream chat there for a minute.
Oh yeah, yes, there was party. Oh, everybody,
Jesus,
thank you. Yeah, thank you, everybody. All of our favorites there, Shaq and Party Pug and Space Lord and everyone else. All the warriors helping us out. But yeah, I got to catch up on Batwoman because apparently it also got pretty good after Crisis.
Oh really?
I hear it got.
I've watched a couple episodes after Crisis, and I'm like blanking on remembering even what those episodes were about.
And I guess I just have higher hopes. I'm gonna try and stick that one out. And I mean, it's not like I have any other of the CW superhero shows to catch up on. So
Yeah.
That's a good one. That new DuckTales show, I heard good things about that, and because I finally have the Disney Plus app now. The third season of that just started, and apparently they brought in that universe's version of Goofy, and apparently Goof Troop and the Goofy movie are in continuity according to this universe.
No, jeez.
Yeah, which is a Disney afternoon fan. I'm like, wow, you brought in Gummy Bears, you brought in Darkwing Duck, you brought in Gargoyles, and made all these things canon. I gotta check this out, even just as a canon junkie. And lastly, Watchmen, which I never even watched the first episode of because I told you that guy on Twitter was being an asshole to me about not watching it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, to spite you, I'm not gonna watch it, period. But I put that way at the bottom of my list.
I liked the last couple of episodes more than the first three. The first three I feel are kind of like a bit slow, and so they're good and everything. They're really well shot and everything, but like after that is like where it starts to sort of pick up, like the episode where it's mostly like a flashback to like Hooded Justice and all of that.
That's what I heard, that it actually gets quite good by the end. Oh, and I guess My Hero Academia too. I promise people when I run out of comics, I'll finally talk about that show. So there you go. I kept telling people I'll get around to it. I'll do it at some point. I guess a pandemic finally twisted my arm to make me do it. Wow, Joel talked about My Hero Academia, and all it took was the end of the world and the collapse of Western civilization. Imagine what else we could do. Yeah, I guess with that out of the way, now that people know what I'm going to try and be binging, are you trying to binge anything at the moment, Matt?
Yes and no. I kind of watched Tiger King again.
I heard that. Did you hear? Apparently, they're coming out with a reunion episode. They got
did,
that.
Yeah. But on top of that, I like found myself trying to find like other kind of crazy kind of documentary series sort of thing, and I found it's a movie that I think HBO produced. It's called Tickled.
Oh, do tell.
So it starts off so like simple. It's just a New Zealand journalist who found out about competitive international tickling like competitions, and he wanted to like learn more about it, and it led him on this huge like rabbit hole of like it's like one of the most toxic communities out there, and it's all run by like this millionaire who has a tickling fetish. I don't want to spoil it for you because you got to go find this movie. It's just insane. It's absolutely insane.
You sold me at toxic tickle culture and millionaire fetishes.
Oh, dude,
I'm
like
already in.
It was insane. They were like trying to like cause legal action with this guy when he was just like trying to like find out about it, like what it's all about, and they're like sending him legal documents which all turned out to be completely fake, and like they were trying to like ruin his marriage and his life and all this sort of stuff, and I'm like, holy crap, that's insane.
There's another documentary that's reminded me of. Someone recommended it to me, like you're recommending this to me after watching Tiger King. I think it's called Stubtown. It's either called Stub or Stumptown or something. It was a documentary from the 80s about people in like Appalachia. who willingly cut off their arms so they could collect like insurance money.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and the whole weird subculture around that, and like how the dude went to just do a documentary about this, but it became like a documentary about something else completely, about all these just crazy people.
Oh, jeez.
Tevye just asked, have we seen Tiger King? Yes, Tevye, we did a whole episode last week talking about it. You were here. I know you were here, Tevye. I know you've seen it. We love Tevye. Someone in the chat too mentioning Westworld. Yes, I've been keeping up with Westworld, and yes, that last episode was bonkers.
It was pretty damn good.
How good was that fight scene?
Which one?
What is it? Dolores and the guy.
And Stubbs, yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty fucking good. I like that one.
Yeah.
Lot of big kicks and fancy dresses and eyes wide shut parties, which, I'm always a fan of that. You know what I'm less a fan of, though, Matt? Our first topic this week. Man, I was really worried when there would be no new comics for like a couple weeks and we'd have nothing to talk about. We'd really have to scrape the bottom of the barrel. But, a new champion, a new hero came in, and that hero's name was Ezra Miller, who video has surfaced of him this week, of him just choking the shit out of a lady fan, and not just like choking her a little bit, but choking her down to the ground.
Yeah, thank God he assaulted this woman. Otherwise, we'd have nothing to talk about.
We have nothing to talk about. I mean, he really did it for us. He did it for the culture, is what he did. Choking this fan. The video is very short. It's only like 5 seconds, but you can glean a couple things from it. One, they're not in America. I think someone said they were in Reykjavik, Iceland.
Yeah, Iceland.
Which I'm going to guess he's probably not in Iceland right now, so this has got to be an old video. I'm guessing, did they film one of those Fantastic Beast movies in Iceland? I can only assume.
That, or he was just there partying or something, because that's the thing. I think apparently it's at like a club or a bar or something.
He sounded drunk. He sounded real drunk on the thing. Hey, you want to fight me? And apparently, yeah, that's what happened. And like at first you think like this is too silly and he's too ridiculous, that this can't possibly be real. But it's real when the guy behind the camera, bro, no.
and the fact that like apparently the video is actually being investigated, like properly investigated.
Oh, wow. Because the lady involved obviously never came forward or anything. But again, that you could easily chop up to like, okay, how much money is this going to take to make this go away? That this crazy celebrity just choked the shit out of you. I also had this other idea on Twitter. I'm like, Ezra Miller prone to choking people, and fits of rage when intoxicated. Is that why so many directors dropped out of that Flash movie?
Was he getting violent? Did he choke out Rick Famuyiwa?
Again, I don't think, that this is, too much editorializing or anything, or I'm like, oh, so he gets a bit of a temper when he drinks. I guess he's hard to work with. Yeah, maybe that's why that movie keeps losing directors.
Why it keeps getting pushed back, and why he decided to try and write his own script.
Exactly. Again, the writers are like, nope, don't want to do this no more, which, again, hey, here's another theory. Maybe that lady wasn't actually a fan. Maybe she had the next script for the Fantastic Beast movies, and he's like, no, not going to do another one. That last one was so bad. Or here's another thing. Maybe it was Thawne traveling back in time to try and kill him when he had to defend himself.
Where does this whole incident fit into the Snyder Cut? Like, where does this go into the film?
Yeah, where in the timeline is it? See, that's what it actually is. He didn't actually choke this lady. It was just, real embedded marketing for the Snyder Cut. No, you know what she probably said, the lady? It wasn't, I want to fight you. She probably said, Grant Gustin's a better Flash. Fuck you, no, he's not. Would the real Flash choke you? Probably not. Oh, man, we didn't get to talk about this, but did you see, I know you did on April Fools, both, Honest Trailers and the HBO Go Twitter page both had a go at the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, people were not upset, forgoing the fact that it was April Fools and not really realizing it.
No, those Snyder cultists, they're not well known for being, incredibly fragile and easy to rile up or anything. But I love that HBO considers them as much of a joke as anything. Oh God, but I don't know if it was from the Honest trailer or from a comment I read later on, but it's like, yeah, the Snyder Cut, it's the best movie ever because it's not real. You can literally imagine anything you want in it.
Yeah, so it is the best movie ever.
Absolutely. And again, too, that's how April Fool's jokes should be done, not just, lying about things, especially in this age of coronavirus. That they can just go and be like, now what's the easiest group that we can make fun of? What's the warm fire we can all gather around and warm our hands on? And the answer is people all these years later still asking for the Snyder Cut. That's what.
Yeah, 5 or something years after.
Yeah. So how much blowback do you think Ezra Miller is going to suffer from this? Do you think this finally puts an end to that Flash movie? Do you think they're like, well, we recast our Batman already, so why not recast our Flash?
Well, it's not only that, like Flash was actually meant to start filming before all this coronavirus stuff, apparently, stuff happened, but as well as because we also got Marvel announced their new movie slate, and it would be opening a week before Captain Marvel 2. So it wasn't going to have that original date anyway, so it would have had to have moved anyway. So again, it had to move release dates after moving I don't know how many times.
I don't know what's a more cursed movie, this or New Mutants.
At least New Mutants has been made.
Yeah.
This hasn't.
I mean, we think it's been made. Until I see it, I won't know.
It's just really the trailer shots. The trailer shots have all been made. That's it.
I keep waiting for that movie for the director to come out and be like, all right, everyone, I didn't do my homework. I lied about there being a finished movie. I'm sorry. Yeah. That's all the movie's going to be, is just the director apologizing and being like, well, here's the concept art. Here's what we would have done. Do you want to see that trailer footage again? That's what I keep thinking. But, man, I sure hope next week that some member of the Justice League cast assaults somebody so we can have something to talk about.
Yeah. Up until this ends, everyone from that cast is going to assault someone.
Yeah, where's Ray Fisher been in the last little bit? I want him to be elbow dropping someone off a parked car or something.
Yeah, well, when's Ben Affleck's Phoenix tattoo going to kill someone?
Yeah, exactly. I want Ben Affleck to, pick up a chair and smack someone over the head with it. What reasoning? It's just gonna happen.
Henry Cavill won't, because he's too busy playing World of Warcraft.
Is that what he's doing now, Henry Cavill?
He's a really big World of Warcraft fan.
Huh. And I guess he was a fan of The Witcher.
And he almost wasn't Superman because he was busy in a raid and didn't answer his phone.
Wow, secret nerd Henry Cavill. I like that.
Well, that's why he's probably a pretty damn good fucking Geralt of Rivia.
Yeah, well, good on him. Good on him. So, yeah, that's your Ezra Miller update, everyone. I'm sure we're going to hear more about this as time goes on. It's just such a wonderfully insane story. Like, where the hell did this come from? What was the events that led to this moment? Because he seems, Ezra Miller, like a pretty meek, pretty chill guy most of the time. To see him go from zero to choking.
yeah, it's definitely strange, especially to come out now.
Absolutely, but I wish Ezra Miller would try with me, because I think he's maybe the only guy on the Justice League whose ass I could kick in real life. Henry Cavill, not kicking his ass. Ben Affleck looks like a shaved gorilla in that movie, not kicking his ass. Gal Gadot, Jason Momoa, not even close to kicking their ass. Ezra Miller, I think I could take him.
You could take him. You just push him down some stairs.
Yeah, I mean, he runs like this. I would just have to hold my arm out. I think I could take him. Also, I got a big, thick neck. He's not going to be able to choke me easily. But yeah, there you go, everybody. There's your Ezra Miller update. The gift that keeps on giving in this stupid, ridiculous-ass story. All right, so I guess our next piece of news, which was going to be the top story before this, but I mean, celebrities choking fans always takes precedent over any other story, and that is ComicHub. This was almost over a week now. ComicHub came from the blue and said that they were going to be the savior for new release comics. In truth, I had never even really heard of ComicHub until they said that they were going to save it all. Basically, ComicHub is like the app that stores use to get preview pages and other stuff. Not every
Okay.
store has it, but some of the bigger stores do have it. And basically, someone involved with the app is like, oh, this is, how we could distribute comics now. This could be the big thing that saves new releases. And for like 24 hours, everyone was certain this was going to be the thing that was going to come on through and get us our new releases. Then 48 hours after that, ComicHub said, did we say that? Because we meant no. Because they're not going to let us. We just kind of said we were going to do it, and now they're telling us we can't do it because they very lawyer speaked it, but basically what it came down is certain people weren't going to get paid what they normally got paid, and they'd rather we not do it instead of not pay them.
I was gonna say they it sounds like they had a lawyer call in from home and tell them, hey, you can't be
Yes.
doing this.
Yeah, 48 hours later, that was definitely someone's lawyer. I don't know if it was one of the major companies. More than likely, it was probably the lawyers for Diamond who were like, fuck no, you're not even going to undercut us for a little bit until this virus is over. It's feast or famine, all or nothing for us. Look, if we got to go down, we're taking the whole fucking business with us. Which is kind of how Diamond, if it is Diamond, again, I can neither confirm nor deny. That's basically what it seems like, that someone powerful was going to get cut out of this deal, and they're like, no.
It feels like it was Diamond.
I mean, especially when a couple days after that, Diamond's like, oh, we can't actually pay our employees now. But guys, you've only been out of business for like a couple weeks. Yeah, but we can't though. How bad is your business?
That's the thing. I imagine it's very much like GameSpot, where they're like going from week to week.
Yeah, pretty much.
And just relying on those orders on like big books, like how GameSpot relies on pre-orders.
Which is sad but true, and it's like, you have a monopoly on this. Shouldn't you be doing better?
They should have all the money in the world.
You absolutely should. And hey, again, you might not be able to buy new comics, but you can still very much, buy indie comics, like our sponsor for this show for 2 weeks running, Lewis Southard, in his book Villain Seeking Hero. He wrote me an email actually and told me that the release date has been moved up. It was supposed to be April 8th, with Volume 2 releasing on April 15th now, but it's been moved up, so you can actually get it on the 8th now. So definitely go and support indie comic creators, especially indie comic creators who are fans of the show. I will be sure to link that down in the description. I just thought that was a nice little segue.
That was a good segue.
Yeah, don't worry about people like ComicHub who are fucking up with big ideas when you got, needy indie creators who are still putting out work. But yeah, ComicHub, this is hilarious. The first time we've ever heard of these people, and it's them dropping the fucking ball.
I just love that they thought they could come in and again, it was probably good PR for like that first 24 hours, and then
Oh yeah.
and then they had to admit that they couldn't do actually anything.
Oops, sorry guys. And again, too, I guess that's how slow news was for all the major sites, where it's like, yeah, we'll write about this. Yeah, totally. Give us something.
Yeah.
Now, in actual workable news for things that might be happening for your new comics as they come out during this time of pandemic and quarantine, Marvel had a big statement. Surprised they waited this long, but I guess they clearly had to get all their ducks in a row and didn't want to leap before they looked. They had a statement this week saying that they are going to be pausing all current projects and releasing 1/3 of its May and June titles.
Yeah, so that's both good and bad. It's bad because it's like, obviously they're going to have like weeks there where there's literally nothing.
Yeah.
And does this mean like we're going to get it all, like once this whole thing clears up, are we going to get it all on one day? Are they going to try and space it out?
I hope they space it out. That would be the smart thing. Yeah, I don't want them dumping it all at once on us, not just because we work in the industry and we got to like sift through them, but also just for people out there. Also, 1/3 may sound like a small amount, but it's really not in the grander scheme
No.
of things. You're probably going to get all your X-Men titles. You're going to get everything related to Empire because it's their big event, everything related to Outlawed, your Avengers, your Spider-Mans, etc., etc. All the AAA books will be coming out by the sounds of it.
Pretty much. And it's interesting that they said that they were pausing work and all that. So does that mean there could possibly be more time for some of these books to get like fleshed out more?
Potentially, again, I feel like if we don't work in the industry directly, we don't know. But I mean, obviously, the secret is comics are always further along than you think they are because you got to write them in advance. A guy's got to sit down and painstakingly draw everything. Then they got to print every copy, so that takes a long time to do, which is why people are like, oh, they backpedaled, ooh, they craved, or they caved to Twitter pressure. No, they didn't. This is always how it was
Yeah.
going to happen. They're not going to go back and change a book.
The book wasn't written that week and put out, a couple of days after it was written and everything. It was written, 6 months ago.
Yeah, I mean, sure, you've heard the joke, stop the presses. We can't stop the presses. Do you know how long it takes to start them again?
That Simpsons bit.
Exactly. So you knew exactly what I was quoting. But yeah, Marvel has come out and said, yeah, you're going to be getting it. I can understand the pausing too. And like you said, the pausing isn't great news. That's basically like, we're not selling anything right now. So stop working on what you're working on because we can't pay you to keep working on what you're working on. Which is a fucked thing to have to admit.
Yeah.
I wonder too, these comic companies, again, it's different in every country, and with me and Matt being in Canada and Australia respectively, I wonder, DC and Marvel being the businesses of the size that they are they eligible for a stimulus package or something? I'm not saying like a bailout like what the airlines are asking for, but still.
I imagine they'd be classed as, entertainment. So possibly, because I know obviously in America, the entertainment industry is getting some bailouts and stuff with certain companies giving people who are out of work now in like movie industries and stuff, stimulus packages. So they might fall under that entertainment bracket.
Yeah, I guess we will see about that. But what's interesting about this is that Marvel was the first to pipe up about this, because my thought was always like, well, one of the companies is going to have to pipe up first, and whatever one company does, the next one is going to have to do to keep pace and keep up with them and keep competitive and everything. So I'm shocked that we didn't a couple days later hear something from DC being like, we're going to do the same. We're also pausing, and we're also going to put out 1/3 of our books.
Yeah, they haven't said anything. They've just, obviously we're not getting new DC books, I think, until the beginning of May, or at this point we are. That could always change, and they could go for a second month, but I don't think they will, because it costs some money, they haven't said anything, so it's like, is work still going for them?
We won't know, and I guess we'll find out. Another funny thing hit me today while I was thinking about this and typing up news for the show. You know who's probably laughing to himself super hard right now because none of this is his problem for the first time in a long time?
Who's that?
Dan DiDio.
He got out just in time.
He got out just in time. It's like, what am I supposed to do with myself? What am I supposed to do without comics in my life? Oh, well, there you go. It's not Dan's problem now, everybody. As the chat mentions too, yeah, a lot of different creators are auctioning artwork and their own personal collections to actually help charities, which is quite interesting and, kind of touching too that, they're willing to give. And it, shows us too, once again, just how symbiotic the comic industry is. The stores need these people. Diamond needs all these other people. And without it, the whole house of cards comes crumbling down.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a thing. Moving on away from the comic news to some happier and brighter movie news. Comic writer Jeff Loveness was announced this week to be penning Ant-Man 3.
And I'm excited for that. I love Jeff Loveness.
I know you do. Yeah, I have to, kind of admit I haven't read much of his work, but you better believe I'm friggin' excited that a guy who writes comic books is getting to write comic movies. And then I also say to myself, why doesn't this happen more often?
Yeah, it is. It is very strange that this doesn't happen more often, or when it does, it happens with people like Tom King.
Yeah. I wonder, it's like, why doesn't this happen more often? Apparently this dude, he's worked on other stuff, so like he has Hollywood credentials and everything.
Yeah, I think he's part of like the Rick and Morty writing team.
Yes, that's right.
So he's got that going for him, and this is what, third writer Marvel has tapped from Rick and Morty that is writing like either a movie or a TV show.
Yeah, it's a funny show with a really great, really diverse writers room. They got this guy here. They got what is it? Wong writing for She-Hulk.
Yes, and I believe they also had what's his name, who did the touch up on Doctor Strange.
Oh, yes, I think I know who you mean.
Yeah, I'm blanking on his name.
I mean, the fact that we know the names of this many writers from the Rick and Morty writer room should tell you what a good writer's room it is. Like if I asked you who's in the Simpsons writer room right now, who's in the South Park writers room, you wouldn't be able to tell me.
No, I don't even know.
Exactly. These guys are celebrities in and of themselves. But yeah, good pick. He's a funny guy. I know a lot of people were very quick to share that little panel he did from his short-lived Nova run, where it's Richard Rider Nova getting introduced to the champions and all these new heroes. Like, who are you? Who are you? How long have I been gone? Where it's like, hey, what happens when Cyclops hears about this? I'm here, you're not Cyclops. Yeah, well, I'm young Cyclops. Old me went crazy on the Phoenix and turned into a bad guy, and then I came forward in time. I hate that sentence. I hate everything about that sentence.
Me too, Dick Ryder. Me too.
Me too. So yeah, he seems like a good dude to pen for this. The Ant-Man movies I've really enjoyed because even in the surefire world of the Marvel movies, they've always kind of been these fun dark horses. They usually come out after the big event story as kind of like a little fun palate cleanser. Paul Rudd is just charming as all hell.
Yeah, they make a lot of money despite people like Zack Snyder saying they're just flavor of the week.
And now it's a full trilogy, so there you go. So that's pretty good. I like that. Oh, Dan Harmon wrote some scenes for Doctor Strange.
That's the one.
Oh, see, I'm a huge Dan Harmon fan because I watch his podcast. I'm surprised I don't remember that, but now it makes sense because in the last season of Rick and Morty, there's a whole scene there where Rick says, "Hey, lab coat, rip off Doctor Strange," which is even funnier to know that Harmon actually wrote it. Man, it's an interesting time for adult animation. Did you see Pendleton Ward, the Adventure Time guy? He's getting a new show for Netflix.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Something Gospel. It looks trippy as fuck. It's basically just an acid trip show. He's like, look, I'm not making this for kids anymore. And my last show was pretty trippy. This is really trippy.
Oh, that's cool.
I think Duncan Trussell is the co-creator on it. And if you know anything about Duncan Trussell, who again was on the Harmontown podcast a lot, I think he wrote for Rick and Morty. I could be wrong, but his thing is always like, hey, let me tell you about acid. Let me tell you about expanding my mind with the use of drugs. I'm Duncan Trussell. Hey, do you know that the world is just a whole simulation? And literally that's what this show looks like. It's a whole simulation theory thing.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm like, all right, so everything these guys thought of when they were high, they finally put into a show.
Yep.
Yeah, there's that. What was the other one that's coming out soon? What is it? There was that pilot for that show, Smiling Friends, which was Zach Hadel and actually Mike, of all people, from Red Letter Media was in it. Did you see that?
I think so, yeah. Did he play an old man in that?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I did see that one, yes.
Who keeps threatening to shoot himself, and I'm like, yeah, okay, this makes sense. That he would play that character because he has the perfect voice for this sad, morose, suicidal individual, and also like, wow, friggin' Zach Hadel got to do a show for Adult Swim. This dude was making YouTube animations for like over a decade.
Yeah, it's pretty weird how things like that work out, eh?
Oh yeah, Roiland is getting another show too. I think it's for Amazon or something. It's about aliens because of course it is.
Of course it is.
Of course it is. What's interesting, I wonder if that show will be as popular because it doesn't have Harmon helping him out. Because I always thought Rick and Morty was as funny and as focused as it was because, Roiland was there to say and do crazy things. And then Harmon's like, okay, I'm going to write this down and put this into a 3-act story, and it's going to make sense at the end of it. So to see him off the leash with, no one helping him out.
Well, I know he's gone off the leash before because he did like video games that were very much like what you just described, where it was just like weird and wacky shit. And
yeah, what is it? Trover.
Yeah, and from what I can remember, people liked it. People enjoyed it.
Roiland also loves video games, and he really loves Nintendo, too. That's why whenever you see Rick and Morty show up in video game stuff, it's because Roiland himself is a fan.
Yeah.
That's why they have that joke in Rick and Morty about like, hey, we can get all these DSs now, and we can do this, and we can trade them back in for store credit. It's because he actually did that in real life, and they're like, well, we're putting that in the episode now.
Rick and Morty for Smash 2020.
Yeah. Yes, do it. It's the most important thing that's going on right now. I agree. Why no Cooking Mama in Smash? Cooking Mama should come to the Smash. Just saying. Did you see that? Like, I only caught the tail end of it because I didn't give a shit because it's Cooking Mama, but apparently they put up a new Cooking Mama game, then instantly took it off the Nintendo store, like minutes later.
Really?
Yeah, and no one can seem to answer why yet. I'm sure by the time this video goes up, people will have a reason, but yeah, that was a thing that happened. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting because that stuff doesn't usually happen with Nintendo.
No, it doesn't.
No, usually Nintendo puts up a game and then it stays full price forever because they're the publisher and the console maker.
Yep. Oh my god. Buying games for goddamn the Switch is just, it's like pulling teeth. It's like, okay, I want the cheapest option available. Oh, the cheapest option is $80?
Yeah, full price. Yeah, I'm not used to that because obviously, you know, being a PlayStation owner and, you know, playing on PC, it's like, yeah, things go down in price eventually. There's big, huge sales every so often.
Yeah, a sale on a Nintendo Switch game is like $5 off.
Yeah. Hell, what is it? Sony brought back their greatest hits collection where it's like, here's a bunch of really great games that we really want you to play that they're like $25.
Yeah. Which
is an excellent deal in this economy.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Elmox saying that some people are theorizing, and again, this is from 4chan, so take of this whatever you will, that there was crypto mining stuff in it.
Oh, God.
To where I'm like, who puts that in a Cooking Mama game? And also, how much crypto do you think you can mine off the fucking Switch?
Yeah, I was going to say, on the Switch, I could understand if it was like PlayStation 4 or something, but with the fucking Switch, oh no, my Switch is now a crypto mining unit.
Yeah, how much crypto do you think you can mine? I know nothing about cryptocurrency, and even I know you need more processing power than that. Man, there's a time there when I'm like, man, should I get into cryptocurrency? Should I get some of that? It seems like a lot of people are getting really rich off it. Oh no, I'm getting the fear of missing out thing that everyone is using to get people to buy cryptocurrency. And then it's like, well, what do I buy with my cryptocurrency? Stuff on the dark web. Oh, I don't want to go there.
You can buy a child.
You can buy fake credit cards. You can buy fake PayPal accounts. You can buy all sorts of fake things there on the deep web. Which, yes, I know there's a difference between the dark web and the deep web, and I know TV and movies don't ever honor that difference.
No.
There's a great video out there, and I probably mentioned it once before. It's this guy. It's Michael Francesi, a famous Gambino mobster who actually got name dropped in Goodfellas of all places. I guess he's been out of jail for a little bit now, and he's writing books about his life and going on speaking tours. So he's on like Google and like all those other like, you know, content factories where they're like, we took a real mobster and watched mob movies with him, or we took a real mobster and played video games with him. One of the videos that was actually fairly interesting is we took real Gambino capo Michael Francesi and took him to the deep web, and it's like, hey, so this is how crime is done now in the digital era. And it's just this 70-year-old mobster man who looks great for 70, by the way. I hope I look that good when I'm his age. It's like, really? Is that fucking easy now to get counterfeit credit cards? Is this fucking easy now to buy drugs? You just buy it online? Seriously? I was out here busting my back forever, and you kids just do it on the computer now? Yeah, pretty much. And how do you do that? How's the government not get you with that? Oh, it's all with cryptocurrency now. Wait, so there's invisible money that the government can't track? Holy shit. And that's legal and you can do that? Yeah, man. Why did I go to jail for all those years?
I remember a while back I had this idea where it'd be you'd have to do it in like a comic where it's like not like those level like gangsters like the 80s, like 70s 80s gangsters, but they have access to like cryptocurrency and like internet and everything, and just to see like how it would change.
Yeah,
like the whole game of it's like, oh, they can't bust us, there's no RICO case for us because all our money's on the internet and can't find it.
Yeah, wow, I'm surprised no one's done a comedy version of that. That would be good.
Yeah.
Mad crypto. I just saw your joke in the chat. Cryptocurrency is just dog bones. I like that. For crypto, the super dog. That's when the cops bust you. Hey, are those crypto coins? Yes, crypto, the super dog. Well, this guy's clearly stupid. Let's stop dealing with him. Man, we joke about that, but then again, you watch like that new season of Westworld, and they literally have an organized crime app on your phone.
Yeah, the crime Uber.
Yeah, get paid in cryptocurrency. Do small crimes or big crimes.
It's cryptocurrency and social standing.
That's like a funny joke and a cool science fiction thing, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, that seems very likely.
Yeah, although goddamn, China's already got all that. Like
really?
They have. Yeah, I might have talked about this to maybe you or someone else, but I watched this video about this, like, I think he was a kickboxer or a boxer over there who ended up fighting one of the Tai Chi guys who said they could like take you down with their mind, one of those guys. And the boxer absolutely like pushed his shit in, but because of that, Tai Chi is so ingrained in the social standing of China, that boxer was just pulled through the mud, had his social credit score taken down below 0, which means he couldn't use public transport.
Yes. Okay. Yes, I
buy
do remember
food,
this.
stuff like that.
Yes, they have an actual real social credit score there. Yes. Wow, that is nuts. And yes, very much like Westworld. And they're like, hey, a meritocracy, wouldn't that be good for everyone? No, actually, because it's very easily manipulated.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, Westworld's good.
It is. It's terrifying, but good.
All those people who quit early on, I feel bad for you. And I know lots of people who quit too. All right, what other stories do we got going on? Well, I kind of touched on this one, but yeah, DC, the company, donated $250,000 to a comic store charity to try and help some of these places stay alive and stay afloat. And again, that's really nice. And also in the back of my head, I'm like, 250,000. That's actually not much.
I was exactly the same. I was like, yeah, that's good, but really, 250K? Is that it?
I mean, I definitely feel that's the company being like, we gave all we could. No, really, we gave all we could. We're hurting too.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I say that, and then I remind myself, oh, this is the comics industry. Like, that's probably like quite a bit of money for them.
That's generous for this industry. I'm like, 250,000. I bet if I got all the comic book YouTubers to kick in some money, we could probably do that. I'm not going to do that, by the way. There's lots of cool new charity cons coming up, and I'll talk about that in a bit. But it's also like, hey, we need to eat and feed ourselves too. Especially, as I said last week, a lot of YouTubers just became the breadwinners of their households.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a thing. But yeah, so good on DC for that. It's always nice to see them do it. This is one thing they've done that Marvel themselves has not done, although many of the creative officers and writers and artists and everything have started auctioning off pieces of their own collections and everything to help stimulate the industry and help out people in need, and that's always sweet to see.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw a funny thing in the chat there. Amazing Spider-Man and stay inside and wash your asses. Yes, that is the best advice we can give in these trying times.
I mean, you should do that anyway, but
anyway. But especially now. You see, look, if I was running for public office right now, if I was the mayor of my small town, that would be my decree. Look, everyone, stay inside and wash your asses.
That's why Joe Exotic didn't win his run for governor or presidency. He didn't have the wash your asses libertarianism down pat.
Should have been his his rallying cry from the beginning. I own a tiger preserve, I'm armed, and wash your asses. I'm Joe Exotic 2020. Oh man, speaking of Joe Exotic, did you see there the guys who actually made his music came out and said, yeah, he hired us off Craigslist and passed it off as his own. He didn't even make his own music.
I think it was fairly obvious that he didn't. I know someone on Reddit who worked for him did an AMA in the Tiger King subreddit.
Oh, wow.
And the first question was like, was that his real music? And it was like, it was not at all.
Of course. I mean, of course. And then also people were quick to be like, hey, here's a video of him saying the N-word. And I'm like, oh, well, did they what moment did they
That's
catch
like the
him
least
saying the
worst thing he's done ever.
it's like I shouldn't be shocked about
No,
that, but
no.
at the same time, it's like, yeah. I'm like, but well, what was the context that he said the N-word? Is it when they filmed him for like, forever and ever just for himself? No, it was in one of his political videos when he was running for office. He said it. Oh,
Oh,
okay.
maybe that might be why he didn't win.
We say that, but look who did win. But yeah, man, what we're really trying to say is that reunion video can't come out soon enough. Didn't Jeff Ross interview him from jail just recently?
I think so. Yeah, I know. He recently got corona.
Yes, apparently he did too. Which now the Matrix is collapsing in on itself, Matt. Now the simulation is bugging.
Carol Baskin sprinkled the corona on his meal.
Yes, somehow, some way, this is Carol Baskin's fault. I don't know how, but it definitely is Carol Baskin's fault.
It's like the sardine oil. She just put it on his shoes.
If you interviewed her, she's like, look, how could I possibly get all 3 necessary drops of coronavirus into his food? What?
Yeah, we didn't say it wasn't his food. I mean, yeah, tigers.
Yeah, what about it? Speaking of crazy things, Lich Lord Chris is asking, hey, what about Gronk in the WWE Joel? I did not watch WrestleMania this year either 2 nights, but you better believe I watched their 2 pre-taped mini-movies, the AJ Styles versus Undertaker Boneyard match where a man was thrown off a roof and a house was set on fire.
Oh,
and you better believe I watched night 2, John Cena versus The Fiend in the Firefly Funhouse match, which is literally a psychedelic acid trip wherein John Cena is forced to relive his entire career and discover that he was the bad guy all along. They should do more like that.
I gotta go find these and watch them. Because I've not paid attention to like WrestleMania and all that stuff.
Here's the best thing, Matt. You barely need to know anything about wrestling because they either tell you everything you need to know, or in the case of the Boneyard match, it doesn't matter because it's 2 rednecks fighting each other in a graveyard at night.
That's all you need to know.
And one guy's really old because the Undertaker was like wrestling with Hulk Hogan and he's almost goddamn 70 and he shouldn't be doing it anymore. But through the power of editing, we make him look super strong.
Through the power of editing, he still tombstones people. Don't mind that crane.
Yep, that's it. But man, he is so limited now. I can do kicks. I can do a big boot. Oh, you mean the one where you stick up your foot and your opponent does all the hard work? Yes. I can do 1 tombstone pile driver, but only 1. And I can kind of choke slam a guy, but only kind of.
What you don't see is they've CGI'd out all like the cables and stuff that like pull the people into his foot and the brace that keeps his leg up and.
Yeah, the reason they're fighting is hilarious, too. It's AJ Styles being like, you're too old, Undertaker. You have to stop doing this. It's getting embarrassing. And he's like, no, I'm not. I can still whoop you youngin'. Come here, you. That's their whole reason for fighting. Yep, it's amazing. I hope they continue to shoot weird little mini-movies. And yeah, chat's right too. Somewhere Matt Hardy's like, motherfucker, that was my idea. And when I worked at the company, you didn't let me do those. I had to go work for AEW, where hopefully they'll let me do them. But yeah, what else do we got here on the news cycle? Oh yeah, we kind of alluded to it earlier, but I guess it bears more discussion. Black Widow, and indeed all of Disney's major releases, Mulan, that I think was supposed to come out this week, have been moved to November.
Yeah, and all those scoopers and all those people who are damn sure they're all going to be released on Disney Plus are nowhere to be seen.
And their hats they must eat. Oh, how they eat the hats. I mean, I can understand they want it to come out. You know, they have what will surely be a big release, and I'm sure in the back of their mind, too, they're like, look, as soon as this thing is lifted, people are going to want to go out, and they're going to want to have a good time at the movies, and, wouldn't it be nice if we had a Marvel movie ready to go?
Yeah, and this one's all pretty much done, so yeah, put that out where, was it, Eternals was meant to come out.
Well, yeah. Also, too, because they moved this one to November, they had to move the whole slate down the line, so now Shang-Chi, which wasn't supposed to be a summer movie, is now going to be a big summer movie release.
That should be very interesting.
Yeah, Sam Liu on Twitter was super stoked about it, where he's like, "Hell yeah, guess who's a summer blockbuster now, everybody?"
Yeah, but I wonder if that actually put because I think they've suspended. I think all of Marvel Studios has suspended production until September. I think.
Yeah, yeah.
So I wonder if that means like, does this movie now get like rewrites to make it like? I'm not gonna say it was more. It was probably going to be full of action, but to make it more of like a summer blockbuster film.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder. Or, are they just going to leave it as is? Do they have faith in it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't know. I mean, I'm definitely going to be excited to see it. I mean, especially more now. I'm definitely starting to miss the little things like going to the movies. I mentioned this on Twitter. I miss restaurants. I didn't even go out to eat all that much, but I really miss restaurants. I'm so fucking paranoid of getting the big Rona now. I haven't even ordered pizza since all of this has happened.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I had fast food.
Yeah, like usually every Tuesday, I would order some pizza so I didn't have to cook. And I was thinking in my mind, I'm like, well, I should really keep that money because I might need it for toilet paper and Clorox wipes. And then, like, look, I don't want to order a pizza and I don't want it to have it be like a drug deal. It's like, look, I'll slip the money under the door. You walk the pizza halfway. I'll walk out to get it. No funny business now. No funny business. And again, because I live in fucking rural, nowhere, the woods, Canada. It's not like I can just, Grubhub or Diner Dash. I would love to be
Yeah.
able to use one of these apps to order food, but unfortunately, again, everyone in my town still lives in the friggin' dark ages.
You have to get it by carrier pigeon or something.
Gotta get by care. I need to go out in my horse-drawn buggy and wagon and travel 3 days to the nearest Shake Shack. There's no Shake Shacks in Canada. I wish there was. To the nearest wing stop. Now look, put the lemon pepper in the bag and no one has to get hurt. Which, man, it's feeling like the Wild West now. I actually ordered on Amazon several bandanas to help cover my face, so I don't, because there's no surgical mask, and I'm like, man, we really are gonna be like cowboys now, rolling into town with masks. It's a hell of a thing. Oh, the chat reminded me too. Space Lord, yeah, DC out of the blue announced a comic that no one fucking knows when it's going to come out now. Our Fighting Forces, which is one of their new 100-page Marvel or not Walmart comics.
Mm-hmm.
With Brad Meltzer and Jim Lee on it, and the thing that was most interesting about it is, what war fighting character are they going to have to, hold down the series and be the poster child? Is it going to be Sergeant Rock? Is it going to be Easy Company? No, it's the Unknown Soldier, the Vertigo character, who looks like Hush, but we swear is not Hush.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
It is. It is. DC has such this untapped potential with all of its old war comics. I'm glad they're finally doing something with those characters. And in the back of my head, I'm like, do Jonah Hex next, do Jonah Hex next, do something Western, do something Western.
Yeah, I'm really surprised they didn't when Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, and that was so massive for like a couple of months. I'm surprised they didn't like try and capitalize on that.
Oh, I'm sure Jimmy Palmiotti and Justin Gray have pitched several new Jonah Hex series, and I'm sure DC has been like, meh. But no, that's cool. I like that those war characters are coming back, because it's funny, someone mentioned where it's like, DC does so much better with their, World War II and war adjacent characters, and I'm like, do they? I'm trying to think of what is it, the Marvel equivalent. I'm like, well, Nick Fury. Again, he just survived to the modern era. Captain America survived to the modern era. All their old war characters are still around, just in different forms. In one way or another, their war characters never went away.
No.
Like, Nick Fury was Marvel's answer to Sergeant Rock, but he just kept staying relevant. Which is fun to think. The Unknown Soldier, Tevi, was a Vertigo character. There's been several versions. They brought him over to the main universe, I want to say in the New 52, and they took a couple stabs at him, and it never took off.
No one really seemed interested.
Well, he's an interesting character, but what makes him interesting is why I know no one wants to write him. He is the Unknown Soldier. He is faceless and nameless because he represents all soldiers and all fighting people.
Yeah.
Who he is under the mask is not important. It's very pulp hero. It's very like the Phantom and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Or the Shadow and all that other stuff, where it's like the name is more important than the dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What else do we have here? Oh, some Star Wars news that you might enjoy, Matt. In fact, you might actually be able to give what is it, a little extra insight to me on this one. The Obi-Wan show brought on a brand new creator here, Joby Harland, or is it Jody Harland? Did I write that wrong? Or Harold?
I think it's Jody.
Jody. Okay.
No, it is Joby. It is actually
It is
Joby. I
Joby.
just checked that. Yeah.
Wow, he sounds like a Star Wars character, Joby. Ah, yes, Joby from the planet Hutta. I remember you. But yeah, apparently he's worked for some other stuff, and apparently they're hoping he can get the Obi-Wan show up and running. It seems like he's kind of supplanting the last person they had.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about this because his writing credits are like kind of all over the place.
They sure are.
He's written that King Arthur movie that Guy Ritchie did that was kind of terrible. It looked good, but it was terrible.
Can you believe the same people ended up doing The Gentleman, and The Gentleman was good?
Yeah. He's doing Zack Snyder's new movie, Army of the Dead, which this is a Zack Snyder film. It's not going to have much. And he's doing a Transformers project.
Because, everyone in Hollywood is doing a Transformers project. I'm pretty sure Matt and I are doing a Transformers project that's in the works right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
It's about a scooter. It's about Scootertron. He falls in love. It's a whole big deal. He has to fight for the rights to marry a human. John Goodman's going to be the villain in it.
Hey, John Goodman would be a good villain.
Actually, I just fucking remember John Goodman is in the Transformers movies already. He voices one of the stupid robots.
Oh yeah, that's right. He voices that big fat soldier one with the beard. Oh my god, yeah.
I was trying to make
it's a voice. It's a voice. He can play a human character.
That's true. I was trying to make a joke about what's the most random actor I can pick, only to realize, fuck me, he's actually been in them.
Yeah. Kelsey Grammer. Oh wait, no, he's the villain.
God damn it! Way to go, Transformers movies, to ruin all my jokes by having them happen. Well, you see, and the villain is played by John Cena. God damn it!
But he's not really a villain because that Bumblebee movie was actually pretty good, and Travis Knight actually thought about the story.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, that was the one good. Okay, Alfred Molina.
Is he in the Transformers? I don't know.
I don't think he is. He's in the new season of Harley Quinn. He voices Mr. Frieza, actually.
Oh, that's cool.
Very good casting, and Andy Daly is Two-Face.
Oh, that's really good casting.
It's good. They talk to each other for a little bit. They don't get to be funny, but they basically hold up a sign to be like, these two are going to be hilarious later. We promise. Trust us.
Oh, that's great.
I had to keep telling people, no, I'm not related to Andy Daly, even though we spell our last names exactly the same.
Just start telling people you are. Just to see what'll happen. Maybe it would be like, hey, he's related to me.
Yeah, there you go. Like Josh Keaton. No, I'm totally related to Buster Keaton. and Michael Keaton. I'm related to all the Keatons. But yeah, again, this Obi-Wan show. I don't know, man. As we've said before, it's like, does Obi-Wan need a series? If it's as good as Mandalorian, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think he needs a series. I think we pretty much tapped on what the character is capable of, and the range we can have with him, because we've seen him in the movies. Clone Wars, he was a main character. Don't really need any more, especially when this series was meant to be taking place. He wasn't really up to much.
No, I keep saying, if they do it, make it on the super cheap and make it No Country for Old Men. Make it like, make it like a Clint Eastwood movie, but with Obi-Wan. Get off my lawn, you damn Jawas.
Unforgiven, Gran Torino, Last Temptation of Christ sort of thing.
Make it
just a disheveled Ewan McGregor in the desert, just wandering around.
Every old gunslinger movie, don't make me do it, don't make me pick up the lightsaber one more time, and have a scene where there's a sand. I was gonna say rain, but I don't think it actually rains on Tatooine, so it's a sandstorm, and he's out there like John Wick digging up a hole with his bare hands, and inside are his old Jedi robes and his lightsaber. And he's got to do it. It's like, you're gonna make me be that man again. I left Obi-Wan behind. I'm old Ben now. Old Ben. and then you work in a young sand person who he takes in under his wing, and he becomes his friend, and he starts mentoring him, and that young sand person turns out to be Darth Crate. No, Joel, we're not going to do that.
No, that's too convoluted.
You keep pitching Darth Crate, Joel. You keep pitching Star Wars Legacy, but I love it. Let me make Darth Crate canon. No. And somewhere John Ostrander's like, no, please make him canon. I would love a paycheck.
Yeah, royalties, please.
Yeah, royalties, please. Look, if Thrawn can be canon, Darth Crate can be canon. Anything can be canon, damn it. How would you do an Obi-Wan series that was outside the box, but also like not overly tedious?
I'd probably have to. You'd have to maybe set it all in like he's learning how to become a Force ghost from Qui-Gon Jinn, so it's all set in like a meditation dream world.
Oh, that's pretty fun, actually.
And it looks like him reliving like things like his time with Sabine, Duchess Satine. I mean,
yeah, their names are too close, aren't they? Satine, Sabine.
On Mandalore, stuff like that. Stuff he that relationship he almost had with her, where it was implied he had a relationship where he may or may not have broken the Jedi code a little bit.
So make it like Obi-Wan, this is your life. He's sitting there meditating and like, here's all the cool shit the movies couldn't show you.
Yeah, maybe even like explore that connection with Maul.
Yeah.
A little bit more than what the show did. Like connects with Maul across space and time or something.
Yeah, like, I feel him here in my Force dream. Ooh, we have to have a battle as, like, Force Ghost, like Xavier with the Shadow King and everything. We have to fight each other in the mind's eye.
Yeah.
Or, again, because this is Dave Filoni, who's involved in a lot of these shows and everything, because, he did Mandalorian and he did Clone Wars and Rebels. Just let the final shot of this show be the end, or that episode from Rebels. Just totally steal that.
It has to be, doesn't it? It has to be.
Yeah, just totally steal that moment, because that moment is so fucking cool, and no one's going to be mad if you recreate it in live action.
No, yeah.
No one will be mad. Everyone will be super hyped about it. Just fucking do it.
Yeah.
Just goddamn do it. That scene is so cool. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else. Because I don't want it to be a show where it's like, oh, well, he left Tatooine, you see.
They had that in the old canon. There was a series of books, and it was awful. Absolutely awful.
It always bugged me when that happened.
Yeah.
You know what they could do? They could take a page from Red Dead Redemption 2, and it's just him building his house out there in the middle of the Tatooine desert for multiple episodes.
I'd be fine with that.
There you go. They play that song in the background going, build a little house together.
Doesn't make except it's sung in like Orberish or something with a jizz whaler and whatnot.
Yeah. Oh, well, there you go. You see, he keeps getting fun guests to come by. Like one of the jizz whalers comes to help him. Cy Snoodles is there helping him build the house. Just, all these characters come by. Some Jawas are there helping him build the house.
See, Cy Snoodles is like uncle. He's drunk. He's got that lumbago.
Love it. Love it. There you go. Because who doesn't want a pink elephant man or a blue elephant man just to hang out? Who's the singing lady who they put in the newer editions, but then she actually got a whole episode devoted to herself in Clone Wars? She was dating Zero. What the hell was her name? Max Rebo.
Yeah, Max Rebo.
We got to have an episode of Max Rebo where she breaks down in the desert and Obi-Wan's got to help her, and she's like very annoying, but it's like, oh, I'm going to help you. Because that's what a good Jedi would do, but I'm not a Jedi, though. Don't tell anyone I'm a Jedi. She broke down on her way to Jabba's palace where, she's going to be the new featured act. God, I just remember they did a whole episode of Clone Wars where she, screwed over Zero the Hutt to Jabba, and that's how she got the job.
Yeah, they went... Clone Wars is good, but they went into explaining some useless shit in that show.
Boy, do they. Even that last episode, I know we were all complaining on Twitter where it's like, did they really in their last season have a whole episode that ends exactly where it started with nothing having changed?
I really haven't liked that arc with the sisters all that much. It's not been, as I said to our friend Kirk FM, this is their last season. You think they divert the limited number of episodes they have smartly, and yet here we have like a 3 or 4 part arc, which is just Ahsoka teaming up with these quite stupid girls.
And I mean, I get what they're trying to do. They're like, look, here's Ahsoka's walking tour of the universe. The Jedi aren't as good as you thought they were. Here's all this, you know, suffering and drug addiction and crime and everything else. I'm like, well, we got that in the first 2. You didn't need to keep doing it. We understood.
Yeah, we get it. We get it.
I do love the idea. Ahsoka hasn't been out of the Jedi Order for longer than 15 minutes, and she's already dealing drugs and getting locked up in prison and shit. That's pretty fun. They should have kept doing that. It should have just been like, how far can Ahsoka fall? Because when you fall hard. And then to like plant the seeds too, where it's like, no, but here's Mandalorians, everybody. Here's Bo-Katan and Sabine's mom. We promise the next arc's going to be really good.
Yeah, it felt like filler. A lot of filler.
And I think, and it is too, because like as we've seen from the trailer, they're gonna bring Rex back, they're gonna bring her back, and they're gonna set up the big Siege of Mandalore arc, because that's what this has all been building to.
Yeah.
Which again, it's just like, well, this really doesn't feel like the end too. If that's where it ends, feels like you could easily do another season and take us right up to Order 66.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I think like Siege of Mandalore and all that is happening during Episode 3.
Oh, is it? So like well, they're
like around the start of it. Yeah, that's why like Ahsoka and all that aren't there, and why Rex isn't there. Like they've got to give a reason for why Rex wasn't like accompanying Obi-Wan and Anakin to Coruscant and all of that.
I really hope the final episode is them all hanging out, Ahsoka and Rex, and then boom, Order 66 comes down, and we have to see how they got out of it, because naturally Rex finds out, cuts his implant out, and so that's why he doesn't go nuts. I hope we get to see what brings us to that moment.
Him and those other ones that appear later in Rebels, we've got to see them like escape to that planet they were found on in Rebels.
Yeah, how did we get there? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
And like, I know it's not that important because obviously they turn out fine and everything, but I want to know what was the deciding factor that he figured out, oh, I better cut this shit out of my head.
Yeah, because it's never really explained, is it? Because we had that arc where they kind of came close to like finding out about it, but then like and then in Rebels we get like passing mentions where Rex like, oh, cut it out.
Yeah, it was Fives, wasn't it? And then they found out like, we thought he was crazy.
Yeah, but really it was this implant that's gonna make him turn against the fucking Jedi.
Yeah, really. Fives knew, man. He knew all along. Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's basically all the news that's going on right now.
Yeah, surprisingly, that was a lot of news.
Yeah, that's way more show than I ever thought we could ever potentially fill up. But we did it. Do we want to take some questions from the chat then to fill up the rest of the show?
Why not?
Yeah, so in the chat, everyone, as I answer an important Skype message that just came up right now, and I was gonna pretend like, oh, I'm gonna play it off like, oh, I'm not doing it, but no, I totally am. But if anyone has any good questions, we'll try and fill up the last couple minutes. Where are we now? We'll do like 20 minutes. If anyone's got anything. Ooh, favorite Resident Evil game, says Amazing Spider-Man. Cliche as it sounds, probably 4, but then again, I haven't played the new stuff yet.
Yeah, well, there's another question there about the Resident Evil 3 remake. I've been playing it. It's pretty damn good. I really enjoy the things they've changed about it. It's completely different from the original.
It looks great, but I never played 2, so someone will need to buy me 2 before I go and play.
The good thing about 2's like I think on sale ridiculously cheap on the PlayStation Network at the moment. But yeah, this one and 2 I would play like back to back because the stories are intertwined. Characters who are in 2 appear in 3 because 3 technically takes place before 2, and then at the same time as 2.
That's right. That classic Resident Evil timeline.
Yeah. No, I really enjoy it. I kind of fucked up though because I started the game on just your standard normal difficulty as any other Resident Evil, and then I like died a couple of times from Nemesis because he's fucking hard and
more aggressive than Mr. X from what I understand.
Oh yeah. and I wasn't paying attention on the death screen, but it came up with something that says, "Oh, you've died a couple of times. We can set it down to like assisted mode."
Oh,
Where
don't
it,
you
like,
love it when they
and
do that?
I didn't see that, and I pressed yes, and it like set me on assisted mode. And the shitty thing is, you can't change this difficulty after that, so I'm stuck playing the fucking
Oh,
game on assisted, and it's way too easy. It's way too
that's
fucking easy.
disappointing. That's like whenever I would play Ninja Gaiden. It's like, so we notice you're getting bodied all the time right now. So would you like us to put it down to little baby difficulty, little baby man? Would you like that? No, no, Ninja Gaiden, stop babying me so much. It's just that we notice that you're a little wuss baby right now, and that you probably need your bubba right now. Is just what we're noticing. Shut up! I can beat the first boss. His nunchucks are hard. But yeah, it looks really good, and there just seems to be a lot of joy around Resident Evil right now because you got like 3 really awesome games in a row.
Yeah, 2 and 3 were really damn good. I'm hoping they do some more. People don't want Resident Evil 4 to be redone, but I think they should keep the story exactly how it is intact and just update everything into the new Resident Evil engine, which these last 3 games have been part of.
Yeah, that actually was going to be my next question too. There's talk of like, okay, so they've done 2, they've done 3. Do they do Code Veronica next? Do they go right to 4 if they keep remaking these? Because so far they're making a shit ton of money.
Well, first they should do Code Veronica, because that one's the one that needs it, because it never had a Resident Evil 1 remaster on like the GameCube or anything. It was just like the exact same like shitty looking blocky mess that it is. And it's it's one of the weirder games as well. It's actually like where most of like the weird stuff kind of comes from. Like
it's like ants and shit, isn't it? That's the one with the ants.
I'm trying to remember. I don't think you're probably remembering Resident Evil 0, which was about like leeches and stuff like that. Weird leeches that turned into like some guy who used to run Umbrella and everything. But yeah, Code Veronica is like this weird character who's got like a sister, and there's like implied incest, and it's all the weird shit,
Right, yeah. Yeah, there's definitely some fun stuff they could do with that. And yeah, I agree. I love 4. I played 4 to death, but I also don't think 4 is such a sacred cow that they can't remake it.
No, as well as they've got all like pretty much the main assets there with Leon and Ada and all of that. So like
basically half done.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, you don't want to see high-res Chainsaw Man. You don't want to see a high-res Sadler boss fight in
it'd be absolutely terrifying.
Absolutely, I'm freaking all for that. You don't want to see El Gigante or Gigante. I kind of want to see all of that, honestly. Also, hey, maybe what is it? There's more stuff you could do with it, more shit you could add.
I'd like them to add like the stuff that was originally going to happen, like the airship and like the weird villain that was like an invisible hook man who might have been a ghost. Yeah. All this sort of stuff that kind of eventually turned into Devil May Cry.
Devil May Cry, exactly. Yeah, I would like to see more stuff with Krauser, because Krauser is one of my favorite bosses and one of my favorite segments in all of video games.
That's one thing they do with the Resident Evil 3 remake, the UBCS, which is like the Umbrella Spetsnaz sort of thing. They give those characters a bit more character, basically, in this remake. You get a little bit more time with them. Nikolai, who's like the bad guy who like betrays you and everything, he gets a little bit more and everything.
Oh, that's good. That's what I like to see. All right, what else do we got from the chat here? Ba-dum. Yes, I did see the Rick and Morty trailer. Yes, it is coming back May 3rd for the second half of its newest season, because they're doing the South Park thing now where they cut it all into halves.
Oh, I didn't even know if that was real or not, because it came out in like April 1st. So I'm like, I'm not even going to pay attention to that.
But it's like, if you can believe anything, believe Rick and Morty, because they were the guys who were like, hey, here's the first episode of our new season on April Fool's Day running nonstop, and some people just straight up didn't believe it. Again, we've gotten everyone started to talk about Capcom and Resident Evil, so that's what the whole chat is talking about. Thoughts on Harley Quinn season 2 so far? I liked the first episode. They really blow up the status quo. I am greatly reminded of Venture Brothers. They are putting way more time and effort into story and character than I thought. Maybe even to a little bit of detriment to the comedy for this first episode.
Okay, I haven't even started season 2 because I'm not even finished season 1 yet.
Yeah, I mean it's good shit, and again, now you'll be able to go right from the end of season 1 to the beginning of season 2.
Yeah.
Are you excited for the Final Fantasy VII remake? Yeah, definitely. Again, I don't know when I'm going to be able to play it because, again, my wallet is kind of spoken for in this pandemic thing. I can't be spending money on video games like I normally would. But yeah, the first part's supposed to be like 30 hours.
Yeah, no, I bought it like because it got released here.
Oh, look at you!
It got released here like a week ago.
Yeah, because I heard a lot of people were breaking street dates when they weren't supposed to.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, I'm going to go pick that up and give it a play before I play Resident Evil. I'm enjoying it. I know a lot of people are like hating on it, like absolutely for no reason. Like people are saying like a game that's almost 40 hours long is short.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, that's a lot of time.
That's a lot of. It might not seem like a lot of time now because you have nothing else to do, but that's a lot of fucking time.
I think too, this is like the straight up what is it like you were never going to be able to top these expectations. This has probably been one of the most awaited games in one of the most like long running passionate series.
The one thing I don't like about it is that they've broken it into episodes. Like they should have just maybe do the full game. Just do the full game, because I think like this first part is like, I want to say 5 chapters, maybe 10. I've heard varying things where it's 5, it's 10, it's 7. And I'm on chapter 3, almost chapter 4 now, and it feels like I'm going at like a quick pace, but I know I'm not because I'm finishing every quest and everything.
Lots of side quests, lots of side content.
It does, yeah. It seems like a lot of side content. I just love that the game looks so damn good. Like, how can people complain about this when you compare it to the original? This is a complete step up, and it's so damn cool.
It is a feast for the eyes. And again, too, you mentioned about cutting it in parts. I mean, that's unfortunately modern day Square Enix for you, where it's like, well, we could have you buy it once, or we could have you buy it several times.
Yeah.
Because we're Square Enix, and that's what we do. You think nickel and diming people in predatory practices is just for American companies. Little did you know we Japanese can do it too. And they did. Someone else saying The Witcher spoiled everyone. Yeah, CD Projekt Red does spoil people. It
did. It absolutely spoiled everyone. And I can't wait until the Cyberpunk comes out and then people complain about that as well.
Oh, of course they will. Did that get pushed back, or am I just imagining things?
That got pushed back before all this happened, because it was originally coming out in like April, May. That got pushed back. Last of Us also got pushed back, but then Last of Us got put on hold indefinitely.
Yeah.
So I imagine the same can be said about those games that got pushed back as well.
Which, you know what, hey, those are games that are going to be huge no matter when they put them out, and hopefully, this, extra time means they don't have to rush or crunch, and that they can actually, have some time off.
I'm actually glad, because there was that moment there when, like, it was like Final Fantasy, Resident Evil 3, the Avengers, Cyberpunk, and they were all coming out within, like, space of weeks. And I was like, when am I going to get time to even play or let alone finish any of these? But now I got time to finish Resident Evil 3's, Final Fantasy, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Me here trying to save some money and shit. I've fallen back into the vanilla Monster Hunter hole because I never finished that game. And now I'm like going super hard into Monster Hunter. I'm in the Rotten Vale now. I just fought my first monster that does bleeding damage, and I'm like, motherfucker, this is a difficulty curve.
Yeah, it just goes like straight up.
Like up until that point, I'm like spin to win, hit him with my hammer, be a wimp, hit him with my bow from afar. That's how I've been choosing to play. And then you fight that big red lizard thing, and it's like, oh yeah, you're bleeding now. What? How do I stop bleeding? Crouch. How do I crouch? Eat raw meat. Where do I get raw meat? No, I know where to get raw meat, but at that point I'm like, but I have mega potions. I don't need meat. Well, now you need meat. I wrote this on Twitter. God, yeah, there, Lich Lord Chris knows the one I'm talking about. God help me too. I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh cards again. God fucking help me. Just drive me out to the woods and put one in the back of my head. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
You know it's bad when it's become that point. It's like you're getting the
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh cards out. It's like,
Cause
first up, why do you still have these?
oh no, well, here's the beautiful thing. The internet helped me out on this. I was playing the app game, Duel Links, which is like one of my favorite things when, like, I gotta go to the toilet or kill some time on the bus or something. Because they have a thing where it's like, look, build your deck, then the computer will like duel for you, so you can like get your dailies in and everything and have it done super quick to get the in-game currency. And it's just that like hit of dopamine that I need. And then I'm like, they haven't done any updates for this one in a bit. Kind of hit a wall. I wonder, should get back into the main game there, see what's up. And then someone said, actually, there's a whole like online client that you can do that lets you play with all the cards and all the modern rules.
Jeez.
So you don't need to buy anything. And I'm like, all right, time to get into this. And then it's like, how much did I miss in the game? Oh, they change the rules every year. In fact, they changed the rules back in 2019 and then changed them back just a couple months ago. Because people were so fucking mad at it. Oh, Space Lord reminds us, Ghosts of Tsushima. Again, I can never fucking pronounce that. Tsushima is still coming out in June, apparently.
Oh, really?
Nope.
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, see, Mielmo X knows exactly what I'm talking about. Yes, Master Rule 5. I had to catch up on like a decade of rule changes. I'm like, what is this Master Rule 5 everyone talks about? And why is everyone so upset? Oh, that's why. Tevi also mentions Persona. No, I didn't get Persona Royal because I still never beat original Persona. I got very far into it.
Alright, someone tell me this. Persona Royale is just basically Game of the Year version, isn't it?
Yes, but with some new things. There's a brand new party member. You get to keep a party member who normally leaves by the tail end of the game. And they put in a bunch of new scenes and shit.
Oh, so really nothing. Nothing that warrants me paying $100 again for a game that, again, never goes on sale.
Yeah, if you didn't already play it, then yeah, you could probably just look at all these extra new scenes on the internet. But, Persona fans are, so loyal naturally, there's people who are going to want to get in there.
Because I saw heaps of people talking about it and like raving about it. I'm like, okay, well, what is it? Is it like a new like game or something? And then like I had someone like detail it for me, and it's like, oh, so it's literally just a Game of the Year edition.
It's what it is. It's how every year they would put out like 2 different Pokemons, and then like a year later they'd put out a third one. And it's like, well, this one has a little bit of everything, and it's a little remixed and everything. That's basically what it is. It's a remix on the original, but by and large, most of it is the same.
I'll just stick with my normal copy.
That's fine. I do want to play Scramble, though. I do want to play like their Dynasty Warriors looking one that they put out in Japan. That one looks very fun.
Yeah, that one looked really cool. That's not getting released like in Western places, is it?
Not anytime soon.
No.
But hopefully they'll get on that. What else was the chat saying here? A lot of people getting very passionate about these conversations. Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima, talking about how Joker was in Smash. Again, I wouldn't know. I haven't played Smash Brothers. No, I haven't played Doom Eternal yet. Like I said, I'm being a very cheap gamer the last little bit. Can't buy anything new.
I've been playing Doom Eternal. It's pretty good. I haven't played it as much as I want to. I keep meaning to get back into it, but I just got so much other stuff to play.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, Party Pug asked, how's the new Capes and Quest coming along? We were supposed to play not too long ago, actually, but poor Josh had to end up going to the hospital. And I don't know if he thought he was sick or what the deal is, but, we hope he's doing good out there. We're sending him positive, good vibes, and hopefully when he's back and doing good, we can make it happen. And then I was thinking to myself, I'm like, man, what if I had a game in between to try and tide people over? Did you know, Matt, out there, someone put out complete from the ground up homebrew. It's 5e, so the rule set for 5e, but instead of Dungeons and Dragons, it's Star Wars.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
And it's pretty well put together. And I'm like, I would have to write a whole other game from the ground up, but if I could get some people into that, you naturally, because you're the biggest Star
I
Wars
would
fan
be
I
into
know.
that. Yes. Is that
And like,
because there is actually like a Star Wars Dungeons and Dragons game? I've got it on Tabletop Simulator. I'm blanking on what it's called, but it's basically Dungeons and Dragons, but in Star Wars.
well, this one is different because it uses the 5e math and everything. Naturally, there's been a ton of different Star Wars role-playing games. In fact, this one is so far along, this dude actually has a character creator and calculator on the site.
Oh, nice.
And it's completely homebrew. And again, I'd almost be afraid to do it because I'm like, fucking Disney would sue the shit out of this man for what he's doing. None of this is legal and above board.
Oh, I'm sure. Like he's not. Is he like asking
No.
people for money or anything? Or then it's just
No.
like a fan project, and
Yeah,
they're pretty good when it comes to Star Wars. They're pretty good with that sort of stuff with the fan films and whatnot. But yeah, if he started including Mickey, then he'd have a problem.
Yeah. That might be a problem. It's such a fan project too. People have like put in stat blocks for every race, so like every race you can think of is in there.
Fuck yeah.
Even the obscure ass ones are all. You can be one of the goddamn cloners. You can be one of the Geonosians.
Oh, nice.
You can be all the fucking weird ones, and like they took like all the D&D classes and put like kind of a spin on them, where it's like, okay, so instead of an orc barbarian, you're a Wookiee berserker is what you are,
Nice,
and instead of a
nice.
fighter, you're I don't know, you're like some kind of sentinel or something. So like they've actually tried to put like the actual Star Wars words in there too.
Oh, that's cool.
It's fun. It's fun. What else do we got going on here? Yeah, a lot of people talking about their own money war woes in this time. Totally feel that. Yeah, where is the Mickey RPG? I agree. Where's like the Dungeons and Dragons Disney adventure, Disney and Dragons?
Wasn't there like a Mickey Mouse RPG? Like for like Xbox or something?
Yeah. They had something close to it. Shit, Matt, I feel like we should make that happen. Disney and Dragons. Oh no, Disneyland's California Adventure has been taken over by monsters. You have to go in and roll to save it. Yeah, Epic Mickey is what the chat is saying. Crusader Con saying, did you hear Marvel gave away a bunch of digital comics? Yeah, I think I remember that. Good for them.
Wasn't that Marvel Unlimited or something? They like
Yeah.
released like a bunch of like stuff they were going to release.
Yeah. Feels again kind of like the dealer being like, hey, the first taste is always free. You all come back now, you hear, and tell your friends about it. So yeah, again, that's about an hour 30. That's about how long our show normally goes. I want to thank everyone for coming and joining us here on this Monday. We know it's a day later than we normally do, but I think we had a pretty good show, all things considered, when we stop and think that there was no new books to talk about.
No, there wasn't at all, and there won't be any next week.
No. Here's maybe next week we can talk about all our new projects that we're working on, because I imagine we'll have to start new projects.
Yeah. Yep.
Maybe we'll do more question time from the chat. We'll do stuff, everyone. We promise that the show will be good. And if we only do 30 minutes, we'll do another comic book Would You Rather. Also, thank you, Party Pug.
Thanks.
For the bits, always appreciate it. Or the cheers. I don't know which one's which.
Yeah, as literal as says next week we should do a pitch show.
Oh yeah. Pitch shows are always good.
Yeah.
Those are always. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching and listening. Again, if you're a patron, you'll get to listen to this one first before anyone else in both audio and visual form. Big thanks to Lewis for sponsoring the episode. Be sure to check out his link down in the description of this very video for Villain Seek and Hero. Let's be the comic community that supports each other, especially in these trying times. Because I mean, hey, it's not like you're going to be buying any books from DC or Marvel in the next little bit.
No, not at all.
Also, be sure to keep your eyes and ears to my feed in the next little bit. I have actually been invited to a couple of those online Comic-Cons, so I might be doing some panels in the near future. Yeah. Isn't it funny? I complained early on where it's like, man, I didn't get invited to any cons this year. Woohoo, internet cons. Go me, everybody. So yeah, that'll just about do it for us, everyone. Thanks again for coming out, and we'll see you all again next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.